In this video, I want to give you some tips on building a massive YouTube following. Now, why is it that some YouTube videos get so many views they practically break the counter, yet others get seen so infrequently the page looks like Tombstone before the Outlaws ride in? And how come some YouTube channels have many thousands of subscribers and their video stats hit four figures within a few hours, whereas others might get one or two subscribers a year and their videos never get viewed 100 times before they get taken down? Well, there are a number of different answers to that question. And while you might not have as many views and subscribers as Gangnam Style, you can certainly build a solid following and get a decent number of views for your videos. The main determining factor for how popular your videos are going to be comes down to your niche, and some niches are more popular than others. In general internet marketing, the biggest niches are fitness, dating, self-help, and making money. But some of the most popular subjects for YouTube videos outside of those big internet marketing niches are gaming, makeup tutorials, grooming and style, travel, technology, fails, cats, DIY, comedy, and lifestyle vlogs. So you need to pick a niche that's going to be popular, but often the most popular niches are the most competitive and oversaturated. So if you do a series of videos on how to do the perfect workout routine, you're going to be up against some fairly big names who already have a massive following, and you'll find it very hard to compete. So what should you do? Well, one thing is to pick a popular niche, but concentrate on a particular aspect of it. And this is known as niching down, or niching down, as some people pronounce it. So let's say you're in the golf niche. Instead of doing just general golf videos, you could do tutorials on how to hit the perfect swing or do the perfect putt. You could show how to hit with each type of iron or wood, or you could have tips to play different holes at different golf courses or different links. And of course, when golf goes wrong, it's always a good topic for humor. Or why not pick an obscure sport like handball? Now, it's not as popular, so it's not as competitive, or at least off the field anyway. But there's also not much out there. So videos on this topic do rack up an awful lot of views fairly quickly. But of course, it doesn't matter how good your content is. If you can't get people to your channel, no one's going to see it, so there's not a lot of point. So how can you get a lot of people to your channel quite easily? Well, a keyword-rich description and title will help YouTube to determine what your video is all about. And so when people type in what they're searching for on YouTube, YouTube will go through, they'll use the keywords, and they'll pull yours out, and it'll come up either in the listing or in the suggested videos at the side. Something else you can do is, if your video is scripted, be sure to include plenty of keywords and then upload the script to YouTube so that it can be used for subtitles and closed captions. And then that will help YouTube also to decide exactly where your video is and exactly what your video is about. Now, some good tools to find keywords are the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. This is quite a long URL, so if you just go to Google and type in Google AdWords Keyword Planner, you'll be directed to this site. Or something a bit more in depth, you can use Market Samurai, which you can find here at marketsamurai.com. And this is a paid-for solution, although there is a free trial offer running at the time that I'm making this video. Something else you can do is use other social media to drive traffic. So tweet about your video upload on Twitter, just sending a tweet saying I've uploaded a new video, and then the URL can also get people to look at it, just out of curiosity, really. Or you can post it on Facebook. Or you can share it on sites like Reddit or Google+. And Google+ is actually very good because Google owns YouTube and they also own Google+. So there's a lot of synergy between the three areas. So if you've got something on YouTube, you can put it up on Google+ as well, and it'll also show up very well in the Google search engine rankings. Something else you can do is to embed your YouTube video onto your blog as part of a blog post. And if you have a WordPress blog, this is actually very easy to do. You just simply embed the URL and WordPress takes care of the rest. And you should also make it easy for others to share your video on their sites. To make your YouTube videos easy to share, make sure that all this works properly once you've uploaded your video. You want to make sure that there is a URL or share link that people can access, and that they've got the buttons here that people can share on various other social media sites. Also to make sure that you've got the embed code, like here, to go on an HTML site, and that people can email your URLs. You have to sign in to do this, and I haven't, but usually there'll be a link here that you can use. Your blog should be the hub of your social media strategy. I'll explain why in this video. There are a number of reasons why you should do this. First and foremost, everyone should be able to access your blog regardless of what operating system they're using and regardless of whether they're using a PC, a tablet, an iPhone, or an Android device. Everybody should be able to get to your blog page regardless. So once you've got people to your blog, you can then point them in the direction of your various social media platforms. And if you have a WordPress blog, this is particularly easy as there are a number of plugins you can get to integrate social media. First and foremost, though, you should host your own blog on your own domain and on your own web server account. And this gives you more control than hosting on WordPress.com. So let's talk about integrating Twitter and your blog. Now, there are two ways that you can sync your Twitter account and your blog. You can incorporate a feed of your latest Twitter tweets into your blog sidebar, or you can automatically let Twitter followers know that you've updated your blog with a new post. For the former, you can use the Twitter Feeds plugin. Now, each time you post a tweet, it will automatically be displayed on your blog, which has the added bonus that your blog content will change slightly and Google will treat it as new content and update its rankings in the SERPs accordingly. For the latter, you can use the WP to Twitter plugin, which will send a tweet to your followers to let them know that you've just made a new blog post. And both of these plugins can be installed from within the WordPress dashboard, and they're both free. And the same goes for Facebook. With the Facebook Auto Publish plugin, you can publish posts automatically from your blog to Facebook. You can publish your post to Facebook as a simple text message, a text message with an image, or as an attached link to your blog. And the plugin supports filtering posts based on custom post types as well as categories. And again, this can be installed from within the WordPress dashboard. Embedding a YouTube video into your blog is easy. To embed a YouTube video into your WordPress blog is very easy. All you do is copy and paste the URL into your blog post and WordPress will work out the embed code for you. So you don't need to do any coding or anything like that. Just copy and paste the URL and the WordPress software will take care of the rest. And don't forget, you can simply insert pictures that you've uploaded to Instagram or Pinterest into WordPress very easily. So why not do that as a separate post and then share it on other social media? Finally, you should make it easy for visitors to your blog to share your content as widely as possible. And the easiest way to do this is with the Shareaholic plugin. And the Shareaholic plugin basically puts a bar at the bottom of every page and every post on your WordPress blog, although you can set it up so that some things like, for example, your shopping cart, if you have a shopping cart site, don't get shared. But what it does is it means that people who come to your site can simply click on the button and share the details about your site on their social media. So it helps you spread the word about your blog, about your site, far and wide on all sorts of different social media. And you can set it up to decide what social media you want your content shared on, and as I was saying, what pages you want to have shared. So it's fully customizable and you can install it from within the WordPress dashboard. So there you go, a few ways that you can make your blog the hub of your social media activities and spread your message far and wide. LinkedIn has its own advertising platform that enables you to directly advertise to other members of LinkedIn. And this is perfect if you're a B2B marketer or you target a business-related niche. Essentially, this is a PPC network, in other words, it's pay-per-click, that works similarly to Facebook or Google AdWords. So you only have to pay when someone actually clicks on your ads, although you can also pay per impression. And you'll generally only pay a few cents for each click, but the more you pay, the more often your ad will appear, just like on Facebook or AdWords. And this is very effective because it means you don't have to pay anything if your ad is ineffectual and doesn't generate any traffic whatsoever. Like Facebook ads and Google AdWords, LinkedIn allows you to carefully target who sees your ads. And this is fantastic for B2B organizations as it lets you specifically market to decision makers within your industry. What's more, LinkedIn ads also work incredibly well for recruiting. Now, there are two main types of advertisements, the two that are most popular, and they are sponsored content and text ads, and that's what I'm going to concentrate on in this video. There are also display ads, dynamic ads, and sponsored in-mail, which is a bit like sending out a solo ad, but to people on LinkedIn rather than through email. Now, sponsored content does exactly what it says on the tin. You basically pay to get your article or post in front of the sort of people you want to read it. Now, when you're doing this, you should make this article direct and not too wordy because lots of people access LinkedIn on smartphones. And you should include a call to action at the end. Now, don't make it a blatant sales pitch, though, or you'll just put people off reading it. Consider it a free taster for your product or service. Now, text ads are similar to the sort of ads that you see as Google AdSense. And these appear at either the top or in the sidebar of LinkedIn pages. And just like with AdSense / AdWords, they should be short, compelling, and irresistibly clickable. But the best thing about LinkedIn's ads program is it's really super targeted. And the platform lets you drill down and target audiences based on location, gender, age, LinkedIn groups they're members of, skills they've listed, schools they attended, or colleges and universities they graduated from, and much more. And a unique advantage that LinkedIn advertising has over AdWords or Facebook, though, is the ability to target by company name, business category, industry size, job title, and seniority. So if you only want to reach vice presidents of marketing in North American digital technology companies with more than 500 employees, you can. And you can read more about this in some detail at business.linkedin.com marketing-solutions. Now, the exposure you'll get from LinkedIn ads is not as great as you get from Facebook or AdWords, but for the right business model, it's definitely worth considering. In some ways, the slightly less popular nature of this platform can work in your favor, as there'll be less competition. Instagram and Pinterest are often overlooked by marketers, which is a big mistake because you can actually generate a lot of traffic and sales from these particular two types of social media. Now, for the uninitiated, I better explain that Instagram and Pinterest are picture-based media. And they cater mostly for a female audience and are generally reached via smartphones. So let's look at each of these in a bit more detail. First of all, Instagram. Now, Instagram is an app that's growing in popularity. It has over 300 million users and it's adding more every day. Now, at its most basic, Instagram is an image sharing app, and a fairly low quality one at that. But that's not to say it can't form a key part of your social media strategy. In fact, some really big companies are using Instagram to get their message across. Companies like Sharpie, Starbucks, and Target, to name but a few. And sports teams like the LA Clippers basketball team are heavy Instagram users too. And there are two good uses that you can put Instagram to. One is influencer marketing, and the other is local marketing. Influencer marketing means you find someone who already has a large following on Instagram and has established themselves as an authority. And these people will have the ability to sway the opinions of a large group of followers, which of course is where you eventually want to be. So instead of spending months or years trying to reach this point, why not piggyback on the success of someone who's already got there? Or to put it another way, why not see if you can't get someone to post on your behalf to their audience? Of course, there needs to be something in it for them, and this could mean that you pay them, you promote them on another social media in exchange for them promoting you, something like an ad swap, but on social media rather than email. Or you could just try targeting influential members of the public and hope that they'll like your brand enough to do it for free, although that doesn't happen very often, if I'm honest. Likewise, when you've built up a large Instagram following, you can offer to post for other people in your niche in return for them posting for you in another media, so you can spread your net a bit wider. Instagram is also great for local audiences. And this is because the pictures have an optional location tag, which you can use to help users geolocate your bricks and mortar store. And this can be very useful for drumming up business. So say, for example, you have a hairdresser's or a salon. You could ask your clients if you could take a photo of them with their new hairdo and post that on Instagram, and ask them to do the same if they have an Instagram account. So you're going to spread the word out to all their friends and followers. Now, Instagram is a perfect match for Twitter, as the two sites use the same type of hashtag. And it's easy to link an Instagram photo into a tweet. Then let's talk about Pinterest, because Pinterest is slightly different. It's still based around pictures, but they use it in slightly different ways. Essentially, Pinterest works by creating mood boards, and a mood board is essentially a collage made up of images and other materials that you've either created yourself or you've found on the web. For example, one of the most popular types of boards that users will create are wedding boards. And when an engaged couple begin planning their wedding, they'll often start by creating a Pinterest board and then looking for inspiration. They'll look at boards created by other users and search for ideas for wedding dresses, wedding locations, table decorations, wedding cakes, suits, etc. Or they may create separate boards for each of those things. And there are many ways that Pinterest gets used by marketers. For example, you could showcase a new web design or app UI. You could have ideas for interior design. You can put together inspirational images to get people to keep fit if you're in the fitness niche. You could have things like moves or goal physiques, etc. You can keep customers updated with your brand in a more visual way. You could perhaps, if you have a clothing site, you could have fashion and outfit ideas. If you're a tattoo artist, you could showcase tattoo ideas and much more. Now, beyond the basic features, there are also some more advanced options and tools on Pinterest that are going to be especially useful for marketers. And one of them is rich pins. Now, rich pins, as it says here on the page, are pins that include extra information right on the pin itself. And there are 6 types of rich pins. There's app, movie, recipe, article, product, and place. And if you come here to this page, business.pinterest.com/en/rich-pins, you can see it explains all about them, and you can click the links to get more information in detail on all of them. Finally, Pinterest also provides a large amount of analytics data. Now, to get this, you'll need to convert your personal account to a business account, and at the same time, you'll need to verify your account. From there, you'll be able to see what pins are getting pinned from your website or your blog. This in turn lets you see which content is really performing well and engaging your audience. And there are other advantages of making this switch too. Can you promote your blog or business with a personal account? Well, of course you can, to an extent, but there are some considerable advantages of making the switch. To start with, Pinterest actually requires you to make your Pinterest account a business one if you intend on using it for profit. A brand new feature of Pinterest is Pinterest Ads. And as the name would suggest, it enables you to actually buy advertising on the Pinterest platform. And this is brand new, so not very many marketers are using it at the moment. And you can find out more at ads.pinterest.com. So there you go, just some ways that you can use Instagram and Pinterest in your marketing mix. In order to get the best results from your social media marketing efforts, you must be everywhere and post to more than one social media platform at a time. And this can be accomplished in several different ways. You can spend some time each day on social media, but give your attention to a different platform every day. So, for example, you could update Facebook every Monday, tweet to Twitter every Tuesday, pin to Pinterest every Wednesday, upload a video to YouTube every Thursday, log in to LinkedIn every Friday, snap a story on Snap every Saturday, and collapse into a heap on Sunday. There's got to be a better way. Well, there is. You can post the same or similar content to more than one social media platform at a time. And this can help spread the word about you, your products or services. And you can save yourself a ton of time in the process. For example, you could download videos from Vine or Periscope, edit them together, and then upload the result to YouTube. Not only will you be able to get more subscribers and views to your YouTube channel, but you'll also be able to reach an audience that doesn't own a smartphone and therefore wouldn't have seen them on those other platforms. Downloading these videos is easier than you think. Just go to Vine Video Download, which is www.vinevideodownload.com, or Scope Down, which is www.scopedown.com. download periscopevideos.com and follow the on-screen instructions. It's all really quite straightforward. When you post an article on your blog, rewrite it slightly and upload it to your Facebook page and to LinkedIn. You'll need to rewrite it so you don't get hit with a duplicate content slap on Google. But by writing it ahead of time in your word processor, this can be accomplished quite easily. Twitter and Instagram have similar hashtags, so when you post a new picture to Instagram, tweet about it on Twitter. You can also pin the picture onto your Pinterest board. 3 social media sites covered in just a few minutes. You can also post your latest tweets on Facebook, or use them as a comment in a LinkedIn group, although of course you must make sure that it is relevant. By doing it this way, you can save time and effort and spread the word about you, your products or services much wider and much quicker.